Hello and welcome to LoLverview with me, Zaralin, where I talk about an overview of LoL mechanics and give it a stupid title. This week we're talking about the other part of the duo lane bottom. Last week we talked about mostly supports and how they work into the meta. This week we're talking about AD carries and something that I see a lot of people yelling at AD carries about, and that's targeting. Now, the main problem a lot of people have is they see the AD carry auto-attacking, say, a Mundo or whatever, and the first thing that's said in chat after they get aced is, OMG, stop focusing the tank. Now, there are points in time that I'm going to talk about where this is completely the right statement without maybe the OMG part, and it could be a little bit nicer, but whatever. It's the League community, what you gonna do? But there are also points in time where focusing the tank is the optimal strategy for this AD carry, and I'm gonna go over both of them, and however long this video takes me. First off, in your typical solo queue team fight, where everybody is all over the place, there's hardly any positioning anywhere, there's no really teaming up at all, where AD carries could be right next to each other and be not even focusing each other. If you are literally within a few steps of the other AD carry, as an AD carry, first off, you're in the wrong position. Second off, why don't you attack them? They are the priority target. The AD carry is technically the person who is supposed to win the team fights for their team. They are the people that do the most damage late game, no matter if they're stacking all armor or anything. Pretty much, you are the person that does the late game damage. AP carry is more of a mid game kind of person. You are the person that should eat health immensely. Auto attacks with crits and eye edges and PDs and all that stuff. So, if you get rid of their AD carry, they won't do as much damage, and you're free to just, eat people up. Now, of course, this is in an unorganized team fight where somehow you and the opposite AD carry are off in your own little world and no one is focusing either of you, and you're standing right next to each other, which is kind of weird. But solo queue is solo queue. In a full-on organized team fight, AD carries are in the back of both lines. You've got a line of tanks and a line of AP people and your supports and all that stuff in front of you because you are the most important. And in an organized team scenario, whether it be IPL 5 or in Ranked 5's queue, that's the most important thing. You are the one who is going to carry them. You are more of a carry than the AP carry in those kinds of scenarios. You should be in the back with the other tanks and stuff in front of you so they can protect you so you can carry them. Now, in these kinds of team fights where you are standing in the back and the other AD carry is standing in the back of their line and there's two walls in between the two of you, it's not exactly the best thing for you to go walking up in between those two lines fighting each other to try and attack the other AD carry, or AP carry if it's in the back as well. Those high priority targets in the back are being protected by their wall, which is exactly what they should be doing. If you walk in between your wall and their wall, you're going to get blown up, you're not going to be able to do your damage, and your team's going to lose. So, in an organized team fight scenario, you are going to be in your back line trying to pick off the targets so you can get through that wall into your enemy AD carry. If you can't pick off your targets faster than that AD carry can pick off hers or his or its, then you're going to lose the team fight pretty much. Mostly because if the other AD carry can pick off the targets in your wall so their team can get through your wall quicker, then you can pick off targets in their wall, then that's the team fight. You're lost. It's all about picking off the targets in an organized team fight. And it's all about picking off the right targets in an unorganized team fight as well. It's just priorities, priorities, priorities. And granted, having a Mundo is not the best target to be focusing. But say there's a Mundo and a Taric, and the Taric burst his shatter, so he's got no extra armor, you should focus the crap out of that Taric, and then go for the Mundo, and then whatever else, unless the Mundo is destroyed by your team. Basically, your team should be trying to break their front wall in order to get to their AD carry, while they are trying to get through your wall to get to you. That's how AD carries pretty much work in an organized team fight. Organized team fight. Can't stress this enough. In a solo queue team fight, it's just mostly chaos. But if you can get an organized team fight in solo queue, you're probably going to win. At least for if your side is organized and theirs is not. Anyways, I digress. The enemy tanks and assassins and whatever are trying to get directly to you to kill you, and that's what your wall is there. But your wall is also trying to get through them in order to get to the AD carry on the other team. So, basically, they're just pounding their faces against each other until they can get past each other to get to the most important target. But you are just trying to get to the most important target without having to go through that wall. So, let's just say that there is an enemy Olaf barreling towards you because Olaf is quite easy to get through that front line with his ultimate. You could either A, flash or use one of your movement abilities like Ezreal's E or Corki's Valkyrie to get closer to the enemy AD carry, but that also means closer to the Olaf. B, start auto-attacking that Olaf and kite him backwards so he dies before he reaches you, or just kind of sit there and attack other targets while Olaf beats your face open. I think we all kind of see the important target kind of thing. Yes, focusing down Olaf is not the best idea ever, but if it saves your life so you can finish the team fight, then congratulations. Now, of course, while you're doing this, the enemy AD carry is picking off someone from your team as well. But if you can get your primary target, which in this case is the Olaf, down faster than she can get, say, your Mundo dead, then GG. You're on the way to winning the team fight. And, of course, there are some people with insane gap closers, like a Flash, Q, I believe it is, from Irelia. I haven't played Irelia in forever. And she'll just get right on top of you. But, after she's done that, you can either flash or blink away from her and kite her effectively if you're good at kiting. And that should do the same properties. There's always a way to get away from the team fight, pretty much, and save yourself and then come back into the team fight as an AD carry, simply because usually you have PD and you probably want the new Fuhrer boots or whatever boots, boots 3, I don't know, to get more movement speed so you can get back into the fight if you've been brought out. And of course, everybody gets flash. Most popular AD carries have some sort of blink or dash or whatever, such as Caitlyn's net gun thing, Graves dash. All of these things just kind of come together into what an AD carry is supposed to do. AD carry skirts around the outside of the team fight, avoiding the enemies as much as possible while killing them. You want as much distance in between you and the targets trying to kill you as possible so you have enough time to kill them. Kiting is a very important part of being an AD carry, as well as positioning, which is part of kiting. See this whole thing. And of course, farming is a big part of the early game, but that's all dynamics with your support and their AD carry. And that takes a lot more time to get into than I'm willing to get into in this episode. So, as I was saying, the biggest part of being an AD carry is positioning and kiting in a team fight. If you're the one to survive the team fight from being ran over by an Olaf or a Mundo or Irelia, then congratulations, you're most likely going to be the one to win if you can get your guys over to their AD carry. And besides maybe a Katarina or a Darius, you're one of the most likely people to get a pentakill because you have the best late game damage. GG. Now I know that all team fights in even a professional or ranked 5 setting or whatever are not going to be perfect. There are going to be holes in that wall, the wall might not even be set up in time, and something wrong is going to happen. And that changes the rules of who you're supposed to target and all that. But it's the fact that it is okay for an AD carry to focus a tank, or a tanky DPS, or whatever, and not focus the AD carry for a few seconds, simply because in order for them to get to that AD carry, they are putting themselves in more danger, and most likely they're going to end up killed themselves, because they're going to be running right into that Olaf, or that Renekton, or that Irelia Mundo, whatever, into that thing running directly at them that wants them dead. And it's your job to stop yelling at them to focus someone else and get that tank or tanky DPS or assassin off their butt so they can do their job and win the team fight for you and carry your fat butt. Okay, let me just get this out here as one final little note. I am not a good AD carry. I am a horrible AD carry, but that's because I have bad positioning in team fights and can't kite very well. I know this. It's something I need to work on as a player. But I like to kind of follow the professional scene, and I like to get the opinions of other people in the professional scene. And I am nowhere near, of course, a professional player. Like I said in my last episode, I'm just a guy who's silver ranked, who likes to watch streams and, you know, read guides and stuff like that. I'm more interested than actually being in the professional scene. But I like to think that I have a good enough knowledge of what should happen that I can say it without being good enough to do it. I, of course, am not a professional player. I'm a horrible AD carry. But from what I've seen and what I've looked at, it's pretty obvious that what I'm saying is at least partially correct. And I used to main support, so I'm used to sticking right next to my AD carry and protecting his butt, because I know he's gonna carry me. Anyways, that is the LoLverview of AD carry targeting and why it's okay sometimes for a couple auto attacks to go onto Mundo's head if it gets Mundo off of Ash's butt. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.